been like for you and as the leader of this program?
Well, it is. It changes when you get here. It becomes more real, and there's an excitement to it. And, it's New York, and it's the center of the world, and now you got the draft going on, and so there's a lot of excitement to it. And then, I just texted Chandler are you doing okay? And see how he's doing, because this is a big moment. And, the kids, the players, they work all their life, they wait all their life, and then, you're 24 hours from it becoming a reality. So it's an exciting time. I'm just, humbled that I can be part of it.
How do you quantify what this could mean for the program, just to have the first round pick in school history and to have Chandler walking up there on stage tomorrow night and you being there? I mean, what I know you can't really quantify it, but how do you kind of say what this could mean in the future for this program?
Yeah, you're right, BJ. It is a big moment, and it is a milestone. And when you do, we talk the talk about taking pride in player development, but now when you can see it come to fruition at this level, like I said, it's humbling and it's exciting, and it makes you feel like you can do more and keep growing it. So that this is not just a first time, one time only thing. It can repeat itself, and that's what I want. When I came to Boise State, that's what I wanted to be able to build. And like I said, there's a reality that kicks in when you get here that's pretty special.
The rest of the players, they're going to be watching on TV tomorrow. I mean, what can this do for your current players too, not just recruiting, to kind of see what they can achieve if they put their mind to it? Because his first 2 years here were really nothing to write home about.
Absolutely, and that's a powerful thing. When all the kids in our program that got to see it from start to finish, and the guys that got to see it even at the end, they saw how hard he worked and how he sacrificed, and all the things that he had to go through to get to this spot. So it's a powerful tool for them, and not only that, it'll be a powerful tool for us in recruiting, because the proof is in the pudding, and now we put one where they want, in the big stage.
I know it kind of lines up with Phil being here, but there was a lot more to than just that for him to get to this point. But talking to his mom, saying that sophomore year was a little hard on him, and heck, maybe even considered transferring. I mean, I don't know, just how do you the fact that he stuck with it, and to see the jump that he made these 2 years and go from a guy that was barely playing, and maybe unhappy, whatever, to now being a first-round pick. What's that say about him, and how do you kind of put into words kind of the 2 years?
Yeah, and I think that's a great lesson for kids too, is that it's about facing the reality of what you need to do to get there, and not just running from it, and that's what's going to make him a great pro. And that's been a selling point when I talk to teams, is that this guy had 2 years where he had to work and fight his way through some good players and to get onto the floor, and he grew up as a person, he grew up as a player, and that is why a lot of teams are interested in him, because they know, hey, he'll be able to step in and handle some things, probably a little bit better than maybe a young guy could.
What does he, in terms of his skill set, how do you see that translating over to the next level?
Well, his versatility and his size is so valuable, and that's what the league likes. They like those guys that can play a lot of positions. Everybody's going to positionless teams basically, and Chandler is one of those guys that can play so many spots and be effective. And he's a really good sized guard with a great feel for the game, a great rebounder, and terrific in the open court, and all those things transfer to the next level.
What has this process been like for you? I mean, we talked about it to him, but talking to the teams and everything, and kind of looking at mock drafts, and now being here. I mean, what's this last couple months been like for you as coach?
It's, again, I've been through it. With 11 years at Gonzaga, we had a lot of guys that went really, really high, and so we've gone through it. But to go through it, in this situation at Boise State, when it was our first time, and we had built, this program for 8 years, to kind of get a moment like this, one of these moments, and I mean, it's not the end all for a program. It's not the final destination, but it's another great milestone, and so there's a big sense of pride. Like I said, there's a humbling part to it too, where you're like, wow, this is pretty neat that our program was able to do this and help Chandler, accomplish his dreams and goals and all the things that we had set out for him and planned for him. And it starts with Coach Linder. It was a great eval by him to find Chandler, and and then we were all in that way, and so it's a lot of people. And then Phil came into his life at the right time, he's what he needed at that moment. And, I think it was God's providence that all these people came into his life at the right time and into my program and got to be part of this at the right time. So I think it's like I said, you can't really underestimate how big it is for the program.
Have you thought about what it's going to be like sitting in the table tomorrow night and hearing his name called and seeing him walk up on stage with the commissioner? I mean, have you been able to kind of set in that this is your guy and that what this means?
Well, no, that really hasn't sunk in yet because I've been really busy back here. We had a bunch of NABC meetings and things like that, so I've been pretty busy since I got here to hit the ground running, and so that's just starting to sink in though, and it's going to be a great moment.
I was asking him what it's like to be around all these players. What's it been like? I know you see these guys on the recruiting trail, Final Four, whatever, but for the meetings and stuff, to be around some of these coaches and kind of be here part of the event that is the NFL draft. What's that been like for you?
NBA draft.
Yeah, what I said, NFL, okay, NBA, yeah.
Hey, we're one of the only schools that's going to have a first rounder, and that's, how big a football fan I am, so that's a sense of pride for me too, that Boise State, that not many schools can say that. I mean, there's 350-odd Division I basketball programs, and universities that can say that they have first round in
3 or 4, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty special. And at Boise State University, our community has a lot to be proud of. We have a lot to be proud of with both our football and basketball. So that's really, really been neat. But yeah, to be here and be part of it, and I've been really engaged in those meetings, and I've learned a lot. And it just tells me that that's something I need to keep doing more of, because I think it's an important part of our job of what we do, and we have a responsibility to give back to the game and to guard it for the future.
And I guess final thing, what's kind of your message to Chandler if you get 30 seconds with him, between now and then, or if it's just a text like you said, what's kind of your message as he gets ready for a big night tomorrow night?
Well, I think in moments like this, you got to just be able to maybe take a deep breath and be able to enjoy it, and that's easier said than done because there's a lot of things going on, and there's a lot of I think I got to experience Mark Few going to the Final Four, and I've never seen a guy do a better job of being able to look around and go, all right, I'm going to enjoy this while we're doing it. And I think that'd be good perspective for Chandler to, enjoy your family, enjoy this moment because you've earned it, and it's going to be pretty special.